Drove out to the trailhead out on $8 Mountain by Babyfoot Lake and hiked in 8 miles to our spike. It was hot as hell, but it was awesome. It was probably the most remote I've ever been into an actual wilderness area. Right along the Chetco River, which is super amazing and crystal clear. We were using hand saws, crosscut saws, loppers, bushwhacking, and sawing a lot of jack straw, a lot of logs all over the place. But it felt super rewarding as well to walk back and kind of remember what it looked like before and now see the after. I really liked the Kalmiopsis because it was challenging at the same time that it was amazing to be out there. Lots of burnt trees, not a whole bunch of coverage. Some sections had a lot of brush that we had to walk through. Yeah, a lot of vast open burned areas.
It was shrub, surfing, crawling through poison oak and down tree. Just barely, like, kind of trying to float on the surface of shrubs. By the end of the summer, I was covered in poison oak and bruises and scrapes. No place like it. And it's the most wild and secluded place in Oregon. It is the wildest wilderness area that I've ever been in.
I found out about the trail work day today, and now I also found out about the work you guys had done on the Lone Pine Trail. Emily and I hiked about a month ago, and it was great. It's a real nice loop. You know, there's not a lot of 15 to 20 mile hikes that you can do that are a loop. A lot of naked ridge lines and a lot of high severity burn, and pretty unique area. It's, you know, it's known for its rugged topography and for its endemism, the high amount of endemic plants here. Endemic means that they don't grow anywhere else in the world. Yeah, it was just brushy, you know, and you had to move around. I was really glad I had long pants on. You know, now, you know, we were walking through before, stepping over brush or around brush that was, you know, manzanita style, about waist high. And now we've got a real nice path through here that's about 3.5, 4 feet wide. And we've trimmed out, you know, the shorter brush, and the brush on the sides of the trail is now about chest high. So, you know, we're sticking to where the old trail bed was, pretty nice. And getting that small shrubs out that all came up after the fire. And some of the stuff on the sides of the trails, you know, hasn't been cut back at all. And, you know, we're kind of cutting into that a little bit and making a real nice path. I think that the knob cone's going to shade out the brush eventually, and that I bet you if we went and started poking around in here too, we'd start finding some other trees besides knob cone that were coming up. Probably find some Doug firs, littler seedlings that are kind of using the shade to not get baked out. You know, so we'll probably have some Doug fir that are waist high or so, but probably a lot of knob cones that are about 15 feet tall.
I am cutting back manzanita from the trail and trimming it around pine trees in the Kalmiopsis wilderness on the trail that leads to Bailey Mountain. My name is Jordan Beckett, volunteering for the Siskiyou Mountain Club. I'm 29. I spent a lot of time hiking in the Kalmiopsis, and almost all of the trails that I've hiked through have been worked on by the Siskiyou Mountain Club at one point or another, and often find, my buddies and I, we often find ourselves sitting around a campfire, drinking and blessing the Siskiyou Mountain Club for making our bushwhack and hike in the Kalmiopsis an easier go. Giant, expansive views of Kalmiopsis wildlands that's been ravaged by fire. Lots of toothpicks sticking out everywhere. We're looking right towards Bailey Mountain, and we are in the Chetco watershed. I believe that's a little further up. We'll be hitting, a little further up is Carter Creek.
So that's the one that comes down from the other side of Canyon Peak. And that's Doe Gap, Chetco Peak, Fresno Peak, Vulcan Peak.
I just really liked that week trip that I went on last summer. It was really, like, I think it pushed me really well. I think I learned a lot, and I was really, like, interested in jumping in on this one too. Especially with, there's, like, I think just a whole lot more work to do.
Cool.
I think the Siskiyou Mountain Club has provided me, like, not only opportunities, like I said, to, like, go out and like really see the areas that I'm learning about and like work in them, but also like I'm making a difference, and like I like going on those kinds of trails, and so I feel like by me clearing them, like not only will I be able to someday if I want to go on those, but like other people can as well. Yeah, and just I think I definitely just learned a lot about myself just like being out there, and just like you're there and you're with those people, and this is what you have, and you just make it work.
In the beginning, the Siskiyou Mountain Club was just a group of people who had decided that under whatever circumstances we ended up with, we were going to go out and fix some trails. We had some tools, we had some time off, we had a bunch of big backpacks filled with enough food for a few days, and we had made the decision we were going to go cut out trails that were otherwise going to be overgrown and destroyed by time. The overall tread might show you that it's downhill. You're going up and down, and the declines are really, really steep. It's hard on your knees, it's hard with a backpack, it's a hard, long 9 miles. Jackstraw is a giant pile of trees that all fell down in the same spot, and you have to cut through tree by tree to reveal the trail that is underneath. It's taken longer than I initially thought, for sure, to do the Trans-Kalmiopsis route trail. To get that trail 100% completed has definitely taken a lot longer. Each year it feels like this will be the year that we're 100% done, and each year we get closer and closer, but we never manage to quite punch it all the way through, mostly because we have to keep reworking sections that we've already worked.
It was pretty rainy, and we decided to try to wait out the rain up on top of a mountain, and spent 3 hours building a fire to keep warm and getting totally soaked. We decided to wait until the rain stopped, come back in from the other side, which we did, and we made quite a bit of progress. Worked from basically Babyfoot Lake all the way down to I think we made it to Slide Creek, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was expecting it to be a little bit easier than it was, because it was basically starting out at a high elevation, working down to a low elevation, even though I knew there was going to be some up and down up ahead of it. Carrying a 70-pound pack down a 2,000 vertical foot grade in like a mile and a half was definitely a little tough on my feet. It was semi-brushy, definitely got wet because of the rain. So it was an adventure. Oh, the area is beautiful. It was the first time I'd seen the Chetco, and I'd heard lots about it. It was super clear, very rugged, definitely felt like you were alone in that section of the wilderness. It feels good to get out there and actually get something done for the benefit of the public, and in an area that I appreciate, and I know a lot of other people do. I think that it's important to have trails open in the wilderness, because if nobody sees those wildernesses, they're less apt to try to protect them or expand them or just keep them the way they are. I think it opens the door for abuse of the wilderness, and so I think it's important for these trails to remain open, so that people that choose to go in there can at least experience and see what they're protecting.